from big money and big politics, I guess, let's switch to some big technology news, which don't seem quite that big on the surface, but are actually huge. So this Sunday, early in the morning, it's just about midnight in the US, actually, was, I think, the Bitcoin Taproot upgrade activated. And it's interesting and important for a bunch of reasons. Taproot improves Bitcoin's privacy and scalability. It makes Bitcoin more compatible with more complex functionalities like smart contracts. But what makes Taproot interesting today, especially, it's how it's been implemented. Actually, how any update on Bitcoin is implemented. And it's good to remember that Bitcoin is a decentralized system, which means everything happens really slow. So the upgrade was first suggested in 2018. This year, in June, the majority of Bitcoin miners signaled their support for the upgrade. And now every node on the Bitcoin network needs to upgrade to switch to Taproot. So, it's interesting in a sense. It reminds us what a huge and complex global experiment Bitcoin is. Because, with all the money news, all the ETFs and all-time highs and bull runs and the Bitcoin price going to the moon, it's easy to forget what actually makes this unique. It's decentralization. And it reminds you that the actual democracy is real slow. Like when you have a decentralized network of developers, then a decentralized network of miners, then a decentralized network of users, any change comes really slow. But when this journey is over, the result is an actual community decision. But can you imagine Apple or Google taking a couple of years to implement an upgrade? That's what that's what kind of fascinating about this. What do you guys think?
Did anyone stay up for it Sunday night? Zach, I know you stayed up real late to watch those blocks come in, right?
No? I was asleep. I was 100% asleep.
Oh, lame.
Only you, Will.
Lame.
Only you.
Will, did you have a watch party? Did you have a watch party?
Did you upgrade your node, Will?
Oh, this is embarrassing. I don't currently run a node. So next question. It's funny. I mind, but I do not run a node. I really should run a node too. But I will say you don't have to upgrade. I think that's a cool part of this update itself is it kind of shows what Bitcoin's value proposition is. And that's like anyone can use this money. You can use almost the very first Satoshi software that came out in 2009. It's probably better to use like something in 2010 or 2011, but you can use that software and it still syncs with Bitcoin today over a decade later. And that means if you have money from all the way back then, it still works as money today. So it doesn't matter if you use Taproot or not. Taproot has some cool new functionalities for Bitcoin. It's really going to help people who are developing wallets or block explorers or other things built on top of Bitcoin. It doesn't really help anyone out who's just kind of moving Bitcoin for money. But I think that's a good value because you want your money to always stay the same. And we see that often with like that 21 million value rule in Bitcoin, where there's only going to be 21 million Bitcoins ever. And I think a corollary to that rule is that your Bitcoin will always be your Bitcoin. It's not going to change. The rules are always going to be the same. It doesn't matter what update comes along. You can always use it. Jen, I'll throw it up to you.
Now I need to be educated like I'm 5 years old. I know that there is a privacy implication. Yeah, thank you, Zach. There's some privacy implication with the update, right? And it has to do with smart contracts and the transactions being easier to, I don't want to say hide, but hide for lack of a better word. Can someone explain to me how this works?
Give it to Anna.
So it has to do with the cryptography that Bitcoin uses, as far as I understand it, and it's kind of an enhanced way of transactions being signed when they are written into the blockchain, and the way it's arranged makes transactions lighter, so you can improve the throughput of the network, and it also improves the privacy of transactions and adds all those cool things that Will also mentioned. So, but if you really need to go into the weeds of it's really complex stuff. Like sometimes I need to read these technical articles several times to understand what they mean. But it's really cool that this technology is now underlining Bitcoin and makes, as Will mentioned, makes cool things available to even people who don't understand a thing about it.
Yeah, just to add on one last thought, I think a lot of people are saying like Bitcoin has smart contracts because of Taproot, but that's just like not true. It does add some functionality for building more complex things like wallets. But for right now, it's really just a technical change to underlying protocol that helps developers and also strengthens like the cryptography basically. So nothing a lot of people are going to interact with, but it strengthens Bitcoin as like a money network.